Last time on Who Wants to Be a Superhero? Upon returning to the city, speculation among the public would only grow that this isn't the real Saiyaman. Not wanting to blow Gohan's cover and ruin everything he has built with the community, the Namekian knew he had to pull out all the stops. But when trying to display one of his iconic poses, he came up short. Lucky for him, he would have the fortune of overhearing that a nearby bank robbery is currently taking place. Thinking he could at least pull off the heroic part of this superhero persona, Goku would intervene after discovering the criminal in question was actually Launch. Defeated and ready to call it a day, feeling he let Gohan down, an explosion shakes the city below. Trying to help in the best way he can, Goku had the idea, what is a superhero without a supervillain?
Prepare yourself, damn Saiyan.
This story was created by Michsi and is part of an ongoing series. Catch up fully using the links below. At Orange Star, something appears to bother Videl. Zooming out, we see her and Gohan are still taking their exams. She speaks up to quietly get the Saiyan's attention without alerting the instructor. She mentions that earlier he had said he had asked Piccolo to fill in for him today, right? Which he confirms is the case. While a little reluctant to bring this up, given she's still kind of new to all this key stuff, but she thinks she could sense Vegeta with him too. And after a while, she starts sensing his father with them. And this might sound crazy, but she thinks she senses Gotenks now too. Clearly not listening to her concerns, Videl snaps at Gohan to pay attention. This is more important than the test. Prompting the instructor to shout at her, he doesn't care whose daughter she is, he will throw her out of here if she doesn't behave. Whispering, she asks if to please concentrate on this a bit, but kind of brushing it off, he thinks he would have noticed something sooner if they were, Realizing she's right, he moves to try to finish the exam as fast as he can. What? Grabbing him, Gotenks is excited to see he's finally awake. Though, as Vegeta gets a look at what's going on, he's all tied up, he screams to know what this is. But can he tell? He's his hostage, aka the damsel in distress. Oh no, this is the last straw. I don't care what Bulma will do. I am done with this stupid game. Let me go now. Away, Goku explains that all he has to do is defeat him while everyone is looking. This way, it will remind everyone what a hero the Great Saiyaman is. However, almost showing his grimace through the helmet, Piccolo grits Goku has no idea what he has done. But he tells him not to be like that. He talked to Gotenks and he wants to help. He isn't as bad as he makes him out to be. Not seeing any way through this, the Namek figures he'll just go and get done what needs to be done. But before he goes, there is something he needs to know. Still struggling to free himself, Gotenks assures Vegeta it's useless. He made sure those would hold no matter what he does. But the prince is more than happy to see about that. He will get these off, and when he does, though at this point in the story, Gotenks reminds that he can still easily kick Vegeta's butt. He knows that, right? Yeah, well, once the 30 minutes are up, he'll be Trunks and Goten's problem, not his. In a corner, Vegeta is starting to understand why Piccolo insisted on never using him unless it's absolutely necessary. He's a nightmare. With Piccolo finally getting his mopey self to the scene, Gotenks figures it's about time. He villainously bellows out for the hero to give up. The Great Saiyaman has no chance of defeating him. He will destroy him and his precious city. Going back to his question, Goku mentioned it had been about 5 minutes since the fusion began, which leaves Piccolo with around 25 minutes to deal with him. Sure, knows the fused fighter can flatten him against the pavement in less than a minute. However, knowing him, he will try to milk as much entertainment as he can out of this, so he probably won't go full out and just fool around. All he has to do is encourage that and try to hang on for 25 minutes.
Here he comes! What? Again?
The villain shouts that was impressive. He managed to block his attacks. He is a worthy opponent indeed. But those attacks barely had any force behind them. What's going on? Gotenks then continues by sinisterly beckoning he survives his strongest attack. And Piccolo knew it. He was just messing with him. And with that pathetic attack, Gotenks doesn't skip a beat and plays it up the best he can. This monster doesn't even have a scratch on him after his strongest attack. This causes our hero to begin to think, this whole act, this charade, it's really for him. Could this mean Gotenks really does want to help? Piccolo starts to think the showboat of a warrior really is going to let him win. What do you know? Maybe he owes him an apology. All he has to do now is put on a little show and then he's finally done with this nightmare. Vegeta decided to go ahead and take a pot shot at his captor. He screams what the heck Piccolo was just doing standing around for. Seriously, even tied up he did more than him. But uninformed on the plan, Piccolo screeches if the Saiyan knows what he's done. Gotenks was about to. Giving it back, Vegeta retorts how he was supposed to know. Nobody told him anything about any of this. The Namek barks. He doesn't understand if he takes this the wrong way. Picking up his hat, he admits that was pretty embarrassing. Seems like he misunderstood how this game was supposed to be played. He exclaims, "My bad, won't happen again."
Well,
Trying to run, eh?
he's catching up! Of course he is! He's way faster than either of us! I'm just trying to buy some time to think of something!
Should I do something?
Then think faster! Feel free to help me! This is bad. Really, really bad!
Although he could have caught up by now if he really wanted to, this time he really is just toying with him. It's only a matter of time before he wipes the streets with him. While everyone is looking, the great Saiyaman's reputation will never recover. He knows he can't let that happen. As Gotenks closes in, Vegeta calls out it's over, but Piccolo is determined otherwise. The Saiyan doubles down for him to face it. They have no chance against him, not as long as he's tied up anyway.
I don't care! I'm not giving up!
It takes a Super Saiyan to defeat another Super Saiyan!
Piccolo argues he knows this, but wait, what if? He tells Vegeta to power up to a Super Saiyan right now. The Saiyan argues that if this is about these rings, I already tried that, they won't break. The villain then taunts he is getting closer.
I don't want you to break them! Just power up as much as you can! Why? Just do it!
Only a few more seconds! Gotcha!
There! I'm a Super Saiyan! So now what?
And
And now, back to our main story. Last footage we had was of Saiyaman 2 having been captured by a new unnamed villain. We now go live downtown with the latest update.
Yes, from what we could tell, the great Saiyaman has succeeded in rescuing his partner. Marvelous, I'd expect nothing less from a hero. He is a warrior, a perfect gentleman.
The rumors they are an item must be true. How romantic.
And then proceeded to hit his opponent with her. Back with our romantic crime-fighting duo, while effective, Vegeta starts to grumble after Piccolo for his resourceful tactics, but he's already well aware that he will pay for this later. Just let him get through one thing at a time. With less than 25 minutes left of the fusion, and with Gohan now aware of the situation at hand, our superheroes only have to hold out a little longer until the worst day of their lives is finally over. Will Gotenks be able to restrain himself to uphold the great Saiyaman's legacy, or do Gohan and Videl have their work cut out for them when they finally return? Mondo, not sure if you're going to include this in the video, but I just want to give you guys a huge thank you for allowing me to grace Mondo's channel with my presence and some of the probably best voice acting that I've done in a while or ever really. So thank you so much for having me on here, guys, and subscribe to Mondo for more awesome Dragon Ball content and Dragon Ball fan mangas. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.